This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 11, and reads, "And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon." Shalom Akim, Kol Halayim La, Alahayanawa, Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi, Bahashem HaHakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, of whom I've grown in this truth under. Shalom to the Akim out there that's pushing the truth, is laboring in the word, and is pushing the gospel of the great kingdom that's soon to come. Shalom to the Akwath that's listening in, is remaining true to the faith and remaining faithful and submissive to their husbands and guiding their children. And shalom to the hopeful elect of the 12 tribes that scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth, to all you Israelite foreigners out there who live among the heathen and who look like those heathen nations, but your lineage goes back to the progenitors of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, to the line of your fathers. All right. I want to say peace and blessings to you all. Barakatham. This is your brother Zakaria Allah. All right. Out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Come with another lesson, man. And I pray this be edifying to the elect. All right. Hey, you know, if you're having a hard time doing the lesson, man, all I can say is, you know, you're just not watching. You're just not watching. You know what I'm saying? We in the times, man. All right. And this devil is showing his horns. All right. I got a video from the channel Nations Conspire. All right. Which I believe this guy's a Jake. You know what I'm saying? I've been following this guy, you know, since he had the channel, This is a Call for an Uprising. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, call for an uprising. Yeah, I remember that channel like years and years ago. Like I remember him even when I first came into the truth. You know what I'm saying? And I'll tell you what, man, Esau be on this guy's ass, man, because he got to have like at least 40 different channels. he be on it, man. And of course he be listening to the prophets. You know what I'm saying? Of course he be listening to the prophets. All right, some of the things that he says, all right, there's no other explanation. He's been listening to the prophets, man. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, this is one of his videos, all right? As the title of the lesson says, "Long live the king. Long live the king." Trump reminds us that the end of the republic is officially here. All right? That the end of the republic is officially here, man. Hey, you know, like the other Apostle Gabar says, you know, which I concur, your boy Trump he's that guy. You know what I'm saying? Trump is that guy, man. All right, he's finna get it popping. All right, I truly believe that the MOTB is gonna be under his watch. You know what I'm saying? All the things he was literally sworn in by Chief Justice Roberts, the same Chief Justice who was told by Joe Biden years ago that he will be the one to rule on the possibility of you know, implantable devices underneath the skin. He will be on the chair ruling on that. You know what I'm saying? And here he is. All right, and he swore in Donald Trump. Okay, so we're gonna listen to this video real quick. All right, check it out.
Lastly, we have another executive order that President Trump signed relating to independent agencies. This executive order would establish important oversight functions in the Office of Management and Budget and its subsidiary office, OIRA, supervising independent agencies and many of their actions, and also reestablishes the longstanding norm that only the President or the Attorney General can speak for the United States when stating an opinion as to what the law is.
President Trump has signed an executive order meant to give him more control over regulatory government agencies. He's requiring them to send the White House any regulation proposals to be reviewed. The order also says these agencies cannot spend money on anything that doesn't align with the administration. Let's connect now with CBS News Chief White House correspondent Nancy Cordes, who is following all of this for us from West Palm Beach this morning. Nancy, part of the executive order Trump signed says agencies must follow how the president and attorney general interpret the law. Help us understand what that means.
What it means, Errol, is that often various government agencies and departments, as laws come in, they will interpret those laws and incorporate them into their programs and policies. And what this executive order is now saying is that actually, no, those decisions all get made by the Office of the Presidency itself, by the President of the United States. So it's another effort to concentrate power, not in various departments of the government, but actually at the White House itself. And the executive order even goes a step farther, Errol, and says that this even applies to quasi-independent government agencies like the Federal Communications Commission or the Securities and Exchange Commission, the Federal Election Commission, that have long had some autonomy from the White House and in fact were created that way. What this executive order is now saying is that they've got to run their interpretations of the law by the White House as well, and that their funding could be impacted if the White House determines that they are making decisions without White House input.
That's interesting. That's interesting. And you got to remember, all right, much of this language is vague. All right, it's very vague and it's open-ended. You see what I'm saying? You can interpret it however you want to interpret, but what the prophecies tell us, all right, is that this is going to be the catalyst for, the basically Jacob's trouble. All right, basically Jacob's trouble, man, because this devil's about to come down with great wrath, man. All right. So this is Psalms chapter 94. Psalms chapter 94 and verse 20. It says, "Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by a law?" You know what I'm saying? The interpretations, quote unquote, you know what I'm saying, of what the law is being held solely in the hands of the president. All right. Hey, that's gonna usher in this NWO, man. All right. As a matter of fact, your boy right here, he's got some interesting to say. Okay, check this out.
I want to share with our viewers something the president posted, and it's a message that reads in part, quote, "Long live the king." And this is after he ended New York's congestion pricing. Of course, the founders of the U.S. famously left my homeland of England precisely because they don't want to live under a king. So what is the thinking here?
Well, it's a good question, Errol. It continues to suggest that he is someone who's trying to demonstrate to his supporters, at least, that he's getting things done. And in this case, regarding congestion pricing, stopping the state of New York and the city of New York from charging a $9 toll on people who travel into the lower reaches of Manhattan, where you are, and further south of you. This week, stepping in to stop it, saying it's a misguided and expensive toll. But in essence, doing something that maybe many people didn't realize he could do by stepping in and stopping a governor and a mayor from executing on a strategy, although mostly a state strategy in this case. And he's long seen the governor of New York as a foe. It's just kind of ironic, really, that he is posting something like that hours after suggesting that Zelensky's a dictator.
This is the Nation's Conspire channel. Well,
Let me get this in Isaiah. All right. Hey, Trump is that guy, man. He's gonna bring the pain, man. He is gonna bring it. Jacob's trouble is gonna be under his watch. All right, man. Look, Lord willing, we be out of here. I mean, within months, man. Within months. I'm talking 2 years at most. Real talk, man. You know what I'm saying? Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 4. It reads, "And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord Yahawah, the Lord of hosts." You see what I'm saying? This is about to get out of hand. You know what I'm saying? And all these people, hey, your man here, he about to show you. You know what I'm saying? And these people are gonna find out, and it's gonna be way too late. All right, because y'all wasn't paying attention when he was telling you what he was telling you. You know what I'm saying? When he was telling you what he was planning on doing. You know what I'm saying? All right, that'll all be fixed. Hey, let's listen.
Welcome to today's show. There's a lot to take in with those clips that you heard right there. But again, what's the common theme here? We continually hear this theme of Donald Trump being a king. This isn't the first time it's been mentioned, but this is Donald Trump now acknowledging himself on his Truth Social account that he is the king. Long live the king. So we have Trump issuing and declaring that he alone will provide authoritative interpretations of what the law is for the executive.
Oh, and keep in mind, Trump still wants to bring back public executions. All right, he wants to bring back capital punishment. You see what I'm saying? He already opened up, Guantanamo Bay and all that shit, right? You know what I'm saying? If you really think for 5 minutes that that prison system is only for these so-called illegals, all right, you're sorely mistaken. All right, you're sorely mistaken, man. You know what I'm saying?
Executive branch. Then he refers to himself as a king. And this plays into a lot of the stuff that we've seen going on deliberately, this deliberate sabotage in Congress. The Democrats playing bumbling fools, the conservatives not being able to stop them from putting in insane policies, right? All the stuff that they've been gaslighting people with, all the stuff about Ukraine and where your tax money goes, all the stuff about trans in the libraries, all deliberately done so that the people would be okay with Donald Trump coming in, telling them that he's cleaning up the government, that he's cleaning out the waste, that your tax money is going to be accounted for, and at the same time, not even passively telling you that now he is going to be the only one. The White House will be the only ones who could tell you what is the law and what is not, which is another way of saying we're tearing down the House of Representatives, we're tearing down the Senate, we're tearing it all down for the rule of a king. So this wasn't something that was subtle at all, because the White House themselves tweeted out that Donald Trump, this cover of Donald Trump, which is an interpretation of Time magazine, at least with the colors that they're using, the White House put this out. Congestion pricing is dead, because this is what Trump tweeted on True Social. Trump just tweeted the words, "Congestion pricing is dead, Manhattan, and all of New York is saved, long live the king." And then the White House put out this depiction of Donald Trump as a king on the cover of Time magazine, which is now Trump magazine. And when you...
Yeah, go figure that, right? Go figure that. So Time magazine just happened. They just so happened to bring all this out in print on the same day that he starts calling himself a king. You see what I'm saying? No, man, this was already pre-planned, you know what I'm saying, long ago, man. All right, this is already in the works. All right? Already in the works. And here it is. Like, this is all a stage, bro. It's all a stage, man. You know what I'm saying? And he's the sole guy that's supposed to determine what the law is. All right? Keep in mind that he didn't put his hand on the book when he swore in. And he so-called swore to uphold the Constitution. You know what I'm saying? All right? It's about to be hell out here, man.
things like congestion pricing. That's exactly what I'm talking about in regards to how they're getting people on board with Trump chopping down the government, breaking down the state, breaking down government infrastructure. Because these are ridiculous things that we should never have ever allowed to be implemented in the first place. Congestion pricing is a complete joke. I've talked about that in the past. Congestion pricing is just to transition people into accepting these 15-minute cities and these smart cities. It's a way to punish people who actually leave their homes, making them pay.
Bullseye. Bullseye. That's exactly what's happening. That's exactly what's happening. All of this is taking place. They're breaking down government. At the same time, they're building up an entire AI infrastructure. You see what I'm saying? They're taking down the old. They're bringing in the new. All right. They're replacing the T-Rex with what? With the dragon. All right, with a whole dragon. You see? And this thing's about to get real out here, man.
X amount of money to exit their home, whether they have to go to work or go to the store in these cities. So they decide to just buy things online and have them delivered, have Uber pick it up, have DoorDash go to the grocery store for them, or Instacart, or any of these apps that have now been put out there for people to use so they stay in prison in their home. So when people hear this about congestion pricing, of course they cheer. Just like when they hear men can play men's sports only and women can play women's sports only and men can't wear wigs and join the WNBA. Everybody cheers because these are things that should never have been allowed to happen in the first place. So they're chopping down the infrastructure day by day with an axe. Every day there's something being exposed, and I'm using quotations in the air because they're not really exposing anything. They're just getting you on board with accepting the destruction of government so they could bring in AI governance, which will be a full-on world dictatorship under the rule of 10 kings. So Trump, of course, tweets this out, and this is not the first time we've heard even mention of Trump not leaving the White House. Remember, we heard him say, Christians, I'm not a Christian, but Christians, just vote this one time. We'll have it so fixed, you'll never have to vote again. People like Elon Musk were even out there before the fake election telling people to go consent to be governed because, of course, the elections aren't real and people didn't need to vote because Trump was selected ahead of time, but they needed your consent to be governed. And they told you flat out that this is it. This will be the last election.
This will be the last election. That's my prediction. Nothing's more important. Nothing's more important.
And again, Christians, get out and vote just this time. You won't have to do it anymore. 4 more years, you know what? It'll be fixed. It'll be fine. You won't have to vote anymore, my beautiful Christians. I love you, Christians. I'm a Christian. I love you. Get out. You got to get out and vote. In 4 years, you don't have to vote again. We'll have it fixed so good you're not going to have to vote.
So none of these things.
And all of that just went all over their head. Like it just went right over their heads. You know what I'm saying? Now they won't say anything about this, man, but the Hebrew Israelites are the worst thing. You know what I'm saying? The Hebrew Israelites is the threat and all that stuff. Got to be stopped. You know what I'm saying? Nah, this guy is about to bring all holy hell on you cats. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be the left. It ain't gonna be the right. It ain't gonna be none of that. You see what I'm saying? Like we bring out all the time. This is why what's written in Ezekiel or Slaki in 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter, is going to happen. All right. This is why it's going to happen. People are going to realize that the game was rigged from the start. All right. People are going to realize that their votes never meant anything. All right. They're going to realize that both sides are against them, and they're going to lose their confidence in politicians, because now they're going to really see that this guy was put in place to be your dictator. You see what I'm saying? 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 16. It says, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. In the course of their actions shall stand in their power. All right? The people are gonna wake up, and when they do, it's gonna be too late. You see what I'm saying? And when that happens, and they realize that they're pretty much fucked, then they're gonna be looking for answers. And that's when the prophets will no longer be around. You see what I'm saying? No longer on the street corners, no longer doing these lessons, no longer, you know what I'm saying, edifying and exhorting. No more of that. You see what I'm saying?
This isn't a plethora of coincidences. This is just all of it being revealed to us right in front of us, and you're not seeing any pushback in regards to what's happening. And you're not seeing pushback like you would have seen if Obama, for example, came out and declared that there was going to be a third term, or Obama came out and did what Zelensky did and said, we're canceling the election because they brought us into war or because of a pandemic. Imagine how people would have responded then. So by, of course, creating all of this nonsense around us that everybody, for the most part, disagrees with, and instead of the citizens acting by using the Bill of Rights and the Constitution, which were written for us, to remove these people who are not acting in the civilians' best interest, instead of doing that, we allowed it to continue to occur. Ridiculous laws, ridiculous bills, congestion pricing, taxing us for breathing, all of these things that they've been trying to implement by design. So Trump comes in and he starts knocking it down, then says, hey, I'm going to take the rule of law away from the states. I'm going to tear down the Senate. I'm going to tear down the USA. All these agencies, I'm going to tear them down. Everything's going to come through me. So people are going, good. Let it go through Trump. Let him fix this mess. And the next thing you know, the entire rule of law is changed. And he says, well, you'll never have to vote again. And suddenly you see all of these laws and bills change where you don't have to vote again because those types of things could be on the horizon. And they've been conditioning us with this into accepting this for a while. Remember Time Magazine's cover, King Me, with Donald Trump looking in a mirror at himself as a king. There's other magazines out there that have had King Trump depicted on the cover. And of course, we've heard constantly Donald Trump, quote unquote, joke about running for a third term. He has said it multiple times about running for a third term.
Really rocking. We're looking good. We're looking good for another 4 years, and then we're back. Reporters, and I say we're looking good for another 4 years, and then if we want to, another 4, maybe another.
We become the party of the American dream, wealth creation for everyone, not just the rich. If we do our job over the next 21 months, not only will House Republicans be reelected and expand our majority in 2026, we will cement a national governing coalition that will preserve American freedom for generations to come. There has never been anything like what's happened in politics in the last few years. Never been anything like it. Everybody, people of religion, everybody seems to be with us. I don't know how anybody could even vote for the other side. In many cases, they don't, but they do get credit for it. You'll have to think about that. I've raised a lot of money for the next race that I assume I can't use for myself, but I'm not 100% sure because, I don't know. I think I'm not allowed to run again. I'm not sure. Am I allowed to run again?
He said many times how if he did run for a third term, he would win a third term, right? And then suddenly you have some of these goons in Congress proposing amending the 22nd Amendment so that Trump can serve a third term, right? All hail the king. We even have a New York congresswoman introducing a bill to make Trump's birthday a federal holiday. And
meanwhile, they took away Martin Luther King Day from you niggas. That's your boy Trump, man.
normally you would see all the civilians oppose any government official, any president who is acting in this way, and other congressmen who want to declare federal holidays for these goons who pretend to be representing the people as president of the United States. But because they created this psychosis and worked it so well over the last 8 years with creating such division between Republicans and Democrats, so much so that Republicans refuse to even watch, Saturday Night Live or any of these movies that feature these celebrities who come out and endorse the Democrat, right? 20 years ago, would people have opposed seeing, 30 years ago, whenever it came out, 30 years, would people have opposed seeing Forrest Gump because Tom Hanks that year voted for Bill Clinton? Nobody would have given a crap back then because the psychosis wasn't created the way that it's been created now. This is a deliberate psychosis to get you on board with destroying the government structure because they want to tear it down. That's why you see all these sayings like Build Back Better, the Phoenix Rising symbolism that we constantly hear. They had to get you into the psychosis so much so that they could put somebody in power who started right in front of your faces tearing down the government.
Right. And it's like you have this department, DOGE, all right, which is the Department of Government Efficacy, and they're talking about with all the money that they accumulate from the wasteful spending, then they'll be able to allocate it in the form of $5,000 to Americans and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? People are going to fall in line with that shit. You know what I'm saying? People are going to fall right into it. All right? Right into it, man. And they're going to believe it too. You know what I'm saying? All of this is a means to put trust in the people. You know what I'm saying? That on the one hand, we're destroying your very democracy and republic, and on the other hand, we're giving you a whole system, a new system for you to rely on. And at the center of that system is going to be artificial intelligence. All right. And how it's going to affect the average person is going to be what's known as a UBI, a universal basic income. All right. Where a particular amount of money, a specific amount of money is allocated, you know what I'm saying, to Americans and such and so forth, to the citizens at a fixed rate, you know what I'm saying? But make no mistake, all right, this is going to be utilized through the AI system, you know what I'm saying? And you're going to have to take a particular device in order to participate with said system. You see what I'm saying? You see where this is going? All right. So what this whole $5,000 for each and every person and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? All right. These devils are moving, okay? And they're being very shrewd with how they're doing it, okay? So that's pretty much it, you know what I'm saying? You can continue watching the rest of this video, you know what I'm saying? But, that's all I want to hit. Amen. I pray this lesson was edifying to the elect of the nation of Israel. Okay, this has been your brother Zakaria Allah, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Close, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi, Bahashem HaQudash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, of whom I've grown in this truth under. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom.